Hey guys, Anthony here, Bibles and Barbells. Thanks for joining me tonight. Wanted to do a video tonight just to recap a couple of top topics in the news. One of them being the inauguration. Now that the pomp and circumstance is over and everybody has their fill of all our wonderful government officials parading through Washington and the lofty speeches and all the promises and how this great country is going to move forward. The fake singing, the disinterested crowds, and the smell of marijuana lofting through the air just makes me very proud to be an American today. The president swearing over a Bible that he'll uphold the Constitution when most of what he has done in his first term and now into his second term has gone against the Constitution, and I said that in an earlier video. Tomorrow, Wednesday, you'll have Hillary Clinton testifying before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee at 9 a.m. and the House Foreign Affairs Committee at 2 p.m. on the Benghazi cover-up and debacle. Hopefully, between the blood clot and the bump to her head, hopefully she can remember something about this atrocity that was let happen by our government. And so look for that tomorrow. Hillary Clinton testifying on Capitol Hill. There was a shooting at a college in Houston, Texas. I know the media right away spun it as another Sandy Hook, and you're going to see that. I told you in previous videos, you're going to see the media spin every single shooting it can in these gun-free zones or at schools and universities that so conveniently happen moving forward this year. You're going to see them spin that and just support the gun grabbers more and more. The media is totally delusional and has totally lost touch with reality. So if you're watching mainstream media for your news, you need your head examined as well. You need to get your news from other sources. Shut the TV off at night except for maybe the weather and the local reports. And other than that, you're going to be led down a deep chasm of nothingness. And I'll post some links to these things I'm talking about. A man abused today in Whitechapel, in East London, by a Muslim group. I guess the man was supposedly gay, and these Muslims were chanting that he was walking through a Muslim area and he needed to get out, and they're screaming at him and cursing. Just wonderful things being placed in the news out there that you might not know about. You might want to check that out. Charlie Rangel, isn't he supposed to be in jail? I thought he was convicted of embezzlement or fraud or something. How did he get out? How did he stay out of jail? He popped up his head again yesterday. Guess put his foot in his mouth again, saying, "quote, some southern areas have cultures we have to overcome when it comes to the gun issue." So you could check that link out by Charlie Rangel. The guy should be in an insane asylum, and here he is in government and in charge of making laws and voting on our future. Another newsworthy article: sheriffs around the country are banding together, and they're fighting and coming against these unconstitutional laws that are coming down. Keep your eyes open as more and more sheriffs come and let their voices known that they will not stand for unconstitutional gun grabs in their cities and towns. And you're going to see that more and more as we keep up the scare with the gun grabbers. We have to be vigilant. We have to fight for this right. We have to let our voices be heard collectively. I think I heard in one video today, we need to come together and we need to all be on the same page, because we're fighting for a God-given right that is being legislated out of touch with us, and it's vitally important. with all that being said, do not stop your preps, especially your food and water preps. 2012 was a terrible year with the drought that killed the corn crops around this country and even around the world. Hunger is going to be a real factor in the days, weeks, months, and years to come. You know, you could have all the guns and ammo in the world. If you don't have food and water and those basic necessities, you're going to go right down the tubes. So don't forget about your food preps. You know, long term, short term, gardening, growing, hydroponics. You know, you name it. You know, the government knows what's going on. They know there's food shortages. They know that they're actually sending FEMA to different farms, I guess, to in case of a SHT or some type of food crisis, that they'll know where to get food and, I guess, help the distribution process. But with the quantitative easing, which is basically money printing, hand over fist, food inflation is taking place, although you may not see it. It's taking place. You're getting less and you're paying more. And in the very real event of food riots or chaos, you're going to have to be able, number one, to protect yourself and your family. Number two, not to have to go out and buy food at that time. And worst of all, to depend on the government to give you anything. Remember, our country is decimated. There's 46 million people on food stamps. 46 million people on food stamps, and the number is growing astronomically. Things are very fragile. Our economy is fragile. Our financial system is fragile. And a couple chinks in that armor, trucks not being able to get to stores and make deliveries, can cause a chain reaction of events that you can be sorry for if you're not prepared. So that's one of the reasons I did this video today, just to keep everybody awake and not just focused on one topic or one subject. You know, you should have the very least 90 days food supply and then moving on from there. So basically, guys, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Just a couple of quick tidbits on what's going on out there in our great nation. Remember, as I say always, stay ready. And remember, the verse that this channel was started on is Isaiah 40:29. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. In all this, with all that's going on, we need to rely on God first. It's Him first. It's where we draw our strength and our power from. And it's where we go for nourishment of the soul, of the mind, and of our spirit. And so therefore, keep that in mind as you go along with your preps. Stay ready. God bless. Until next time, Anthony signing off.